They are the undefeated and #1 ranked team in the state of Arizona, the Notre Dame Saints, making their first appearance in the state championships at the Division I level. And tonight, they're going to be taking on one of the most storied programs in Arizona, the second seed, 13-1, Brophy Broncos. The Arizona Lacrosse League is coming up next on APN Video Sports. Tonight from Arcadia High School in Phoenix, Arizona, APN Sports welcomes you in to the 2017 Arizona Lacrosse League Division I State Finals. It's the #1 ranked Notre Dame Saints, undefeated at 14-0. And they'll be taking on the 13-1 Brophy Broncos. They are the #2 seed, looking for their 6th state championship. Joe Ducey at attack, a very unselfish leader out there for the Brophy Broncos, looking for a big game here tonight against arguably the best team in the state this year. Carter McKeon, one of the 2 McKeon brothers that will be going up head-to-head here today. And, of course, the leading scorer in the Arizona Lacrosse League at the Division I level this year is Alex Lesher. And he's had a big season this year for the Brophy Broncos. On the other side, Will Lynch. Well, I'll tell you, he's a wizard with that stick, and he has been prolific, scoring 5 goals against Desert Vista in the semifinals. Zach Siegel, the sophomore defender, has done a great job for Doug Lipska's team, and he will have his hands full here tonight. And Blake McKeon, the 2 brothers we talked about, Blake and Carter McKeon, going head-to-head here tonight in this Division I state championship. You're getting a look at head coach Doug Lipka in his 4th year with Notre Dame. And they're looking for their first title. This is the first time they've been to a state championship at the Division I level. Bo Pick, the winningest coach in league history, and he is in his 9th year, and he is in pursuit of his 4th championship. So we're ready to go here from Arcadia High School, home of the Titans. Take a look at the starting lineup. The 2 goalies, Liam Bailey for Brophy, Notre Dame Marcus Comences. Notre Dame features Siegel, McKeon, and Hackbarth. Hackbarth, one of the leaders also on that defense. The long stick midfielder is Ryan Poteet, up for possible defensive player of the year, with Smith and Quinn Stanton, the other 2 midfielders. And at attack, Bergamo, Traxler, and Lynch, 3 of the top scorers in the league. Liam Bailey heading over to his goal. Marcus Comences on the other side. Lesher, Clark, and Ducey are the 3 attackmen for Brophy. Moore, Grant Hushik, Trevor Aldine at midfield. Hushik the long stick. Marcus Pimentel, Luke Van Ribbeck, Carter McKeon. We'll also see Joe Van Ribbeck in there very soon, one of the top players in the state of Arizona. So we're ready to go. It's a 2017 Arizona Lacrosse League State Championship. And the Brophy Broncos will win the opening face-off, and this game is underway. So a tremendous job, face-off, get-off by Trevor Aldine, and he'll make way to Joe Van Ribbeck, who had 44 points leading up to this state championship game here from Arcadia High School, and he'll give way to Patrick McNeil, the definite senior leader, along with Ducey, #2. And we're just underway, no score, and we've got a great crowd. We're expecting a huge crowd for this one, maybe the best in Arizona Lacrosse League Finals history. No score, Brophy settling in, 6-on-6, and Van Ribbeck, he can go left, he can go right, and there's Ryan Poteet. This is a great matchup right here. Poteet, #8, up for Defensive Player of the Year. Goal line extended left, and the save Marcus Comences, and an outstanding ground ball by Blake McKeon, the sophomore. No score as Jake Smith, another sophomore. This Notre Dame team, a lot of underclassmen, a lot of sophomore, junior, key junior players, key sophomore players. They're going to be geared up for next year. Blake Story couldn't hold on to that one. He's a junior. On the other hand, Brophy, now they have been here 10 times to the finals. They've won 5. They won 2 with Derek Dragowski back in 07 and 08. They've been in the Final Four 11 times. And they've been to the Final Four 11 consecutive years, dating back to 2005. Under Bo Pick, the winningest coach in league history, This is their 7th state finals. They have won 3 championships. Notre Dame trying to get on the board first. High shot by Jake Smith draws Pipe City, and backing it up was Will Lynch, who's got one of the fastest left-handed shots, but he goes right-handed this time. And closest to out of bounds when the ball goes out after a missed shot will gain possession, just in case you were wondering. James Traxler, along with Alex Lesher, maybe Joe Van Ribbeck, and a couple of others in this game up for Offensive Player of the Year. Traxler led the conference in assists this year and had 57 points coming in. And an unselfish player, and he gets a nice ground ball here. No score. We're in the first quarter, and Will Lynch, and we left that one a little short, almost went through the legs of Hushik. So the 2 long stick midfielders, Grant Hushik and Ryan Poteet, up for Defensive Player of the Year. Story working out of X, and he'll take it strong with the left hand, and he has it. 1-0 Notre Dame here in the first. Blake Story, unassisted goal. And this one comes with 9:30 left to go here in the first period of play. So Notre Dame draws first blood, and they lead it 1-0. Trevor Aldine and battling Ryan Poteet in the face-off, and the human vacuum cleaner, Quinn Stanton, comes up with a ground ball, and he'll clear it. Get it into the box within the 20-second parameter, and he will get it into the box for the Notre Dame Saints. 1-0 Saints. Are in the white tops and the gold pants. Of course, Brophy in the traditional red and black. Notre Dame, led by head coach Doug Lipka in his 4th season. Mark Siegel, Anthony Parkinson, and Matt Tyke are the assistants. Brophy led by Bo Pick, Zach Whitman. 1-0 here, Notre Dame. Looking to go up by 2, the sophomore sensation Max Bergamo, who is amongst those leaders that we talked about, scoring 49 points coming in. He's being harassed, flagged down. This will go against the defense. Bergamo over to Will Lynch, trying to keep him off the ground here and maybe get a quick score. The score will eliminate the foul nonetheless. And now Lynch looking to set up in the money spot left of the goal. As we said, he's got one of the most dominant left-handed shots in the state of Arizona. Notre Dame up 1-0. Traxler over to Stanton. He'll pull the trigger, and he'll find the promised land. Quinn Stanton. 2-0 Notre Dame here in the first. The goal will count, and, well, we're going to have a hold. They'll wave it off. And with 8:09, so Notre Dame has struck twice within 90 seconds. And it's all about possession. The face-off win belonged to Notre Dame. They got the ground ball. Stanton quickly into the offensive half, got it into the box. About 30 seconds later, Notre Dame has a 2-0 lead. Ground ball picked up here by Joe Van Ribbeck, who I think is, whether or not he's in the top 5 offensive players of the year, I think when you talk about most valuable player, he's got to be in the conversation, no question about it. Wineba over to X. Number 20 over there, Lesher, and he's another one that can go left. He can go right. Patrick McNeil, 4 years in this program, the varsity level, and one of the great Brophy Broncos of all time. You can't look at the statistics. What McNeil brings to the field, you can't put on goals, assists, or points. Notre Dame with a 2-0 lead. Hathbart, good defense over there. And now McNeil, top of the key, out front. And McNeil dodging in, face dodge, broken up. Good defense, Ryan Poteet collaborating with Will Hackbarth. We're going to get a push, and it'll be Brophy possession. As we're coming up on the halfway point here in quarter number 1, and Brophy needs a score. You cannot get behind 3 or 4 points early on this Notre Dame team. As good as Brophy has been this year, they're on an 11-game win streak. They needed that. And a big left hand by Lesher, their leading scorer here in 2017. Lesher scores for the Brophy Broncos to cut the lead to 2-1. 6:43 left to go here in the first. Well, a good dodge. He had tremendous space and time, and I'll tell you, that's a magic one for number 20 this year. He's had a great year and possibly an MVP type season. Brophy has won 2 of the first 3 face-offs. They continue to battle. Look at McKeon coming up with a big one. Big GB there for the Notre Dame Saints, but then he throws it away, and Siegel cannot corral it, and it'll end up being Brophy's possession here as we're coming up on this halfway point of quarter number 1. At times, we are expecting the wind to kick up a little bit. Siegel trying to clear it. Only a sophomore, one of the three poles, one of the 4 poles that they will employ here. And Bergamo being harassed at midfield. Excellent Brophy defense, and somehow he gets out of the fray. Tremendous job as he gets it, pushes it down the alley, and gets it into the box for the Notre Dame Saints, who lead it 2-1 here. Just under 6 minutes left to go here in quarter number 1. Now Quinn Stanton, he scored the second goal of the day, and he dodges in, face dodge, and he got some pipe city on that one. The loose ball is being battled out there on the far corner, picked up by Blake Story. He goes strong, and he hit the pipe. And this one's going to go out of play, and Brophy should have it, and they do. Good hustle by Marcus Pimentel. 2-1 Notre Dame here in the first with 5 minutes left to go. Get it over to Liam Bailey, the freshman goalie for the Brophy Broncos, who has one of the highest save percentages in the state. And on the other end, the young man with the highest save percentage, Marcus Comences. 2-1, Notre Dame back on defense. Brophy, tight 6-on-6, and now they'll push it back out top, and they'll restart it. Ducey's had not statistically a big year. Can't really say that about Ducey or McNeil for Brophy, but very patient players, very unselfish, and something should be said about those attributes. And certainly Joe Van Ribbeck and Lesher have benefited from those 2 guys. 2-1 Notre Dame. Inside of 5 minutes left to go here, quarter number 1. You're watching the Arizona Lacrosse League High School Division I State Championships. Jack Clark takes a left-handed shot. I might have gotten one of the Saints out front. And Marcus Comences, tremendous getting out of the crease quickly, cat-like reflexes, gets the ground ball, and now one of the best at clearing, Quinn Stanton. And the kind of play that we talk about with Ducey and McNeil, the same could be said for number 2, Stanton, who's coming off right now. Got a great crowd on hand. Brophy in the red, the white and gold, Notre Dame. Blake Story turned away. Excellent save by Liam Bailey, and now Brophy is in transition. Joe Van Ribbeck being harassed defensively by Jake Smith, and now Brophy will slow it down with Lesher. They trail 2-1 as they are back on their offensive half. Joe Ducey work it up to McNeil, and now over Wanabo. Average margin of victory for Brophy 5+, 8.7 for Notre Dame. So now Oliver starting the dodge, goes around Blake Story, draws the slide, now with a curl dodge, and it sneaks him past Comences, and we're tied at 2. I'll tell you, Oliver was impressive there and stayed tenacious. Brophy ties it with 3:01 left to go. So Oliver Wanabo with the score for the Brophy Broncos to tie it up with 3 minutes left to play here. Our 5th face-off. And a great job by Cunnington, and then he gets drilled out of bounds, and there's the flag. Good call by the officials here. That's going to be a 30-second infraction, and that's going to put Notre Dame up. There's the Brophy contingency. As we said, they're still flocking in here to Arcadia High School for this Arizona Lacrosse League High School Division I State Championship. It's Brophy 2, it's Notre Dame likewise on the Arizona Lacrosse League and APN Sports. I'm Jeff Lowry, and we are glad that you could be with us for this championship game. Clearly the two best teams this year. 13-1 against 14-0. Notre Dame in possession, trying to regain the lead. They were up 2-0 to start the game. Now looking for somebody to step in, and they do, and it's Will Lynch, who had 5 goals against Desert Vista. He scores his first here tonight, and Notre Dame has regained the lead. First lead change of the contest, and it is with 2 minutes and 25 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. The battle is on. A.L.L, great ground ball, got his own face-off win. Spinning, had trouble, Van Ribbeck. The crowd on their feet here. Arcadia High School, Patrick McNeil. He's going to dodge, take it down the pipe, and he's a little wide to the right, left of the goal. 3-2 Notre Dame here in the first. Hackbarth on the defense. Jack Clark back over to McNeil, and he'll draw the long stick midfielder Ryan Poteet. Good poke check there, good stick check, stays with him well. McNeil tried to do a quick one and got it by him, but he was wide, and a good job by Poteet. The footwork, the positioning there was nearly perfect, and he makes the stop and keeps Notre Dame up on top 3-2 here. Inside of 2 minutes left to go, first quarter action. And Oliver takes a shot, de-sticked on the play, but Poteet got his stick on the shooter, and another try here for Brophy. They do a good job. They're well coached. Bo Pick, regarded as maybe one of the top 2 or 3 coaches, maybe the best in the state of Arizona, especially with his track record. And now Patrick McNeil, and it was Poteet again with the trailing check that time. Again, backed up nicely on the backside by Jack Clark. 3-2. The Saints lead it here in quarter number 1. Wanabo going up strong against Rosen. Rosen, a junior. He'll be back next year. Van Ribbeck for the tie. Gets in close. And a laser beam with the right hand. That is Joe Van Ribbeck's first goal of the contest. We've had 6 goals in the game, and we are tied at 3. This is our second tie of the game. Brophy has scored 3 of the last 4 goals, and we're even at face-off X at 3. So Joe Van Ribbeck, just an outstanding dodge. This little face dodge, and was able to draw Comency's right, and he shot to Comency's left and got it to go. 4th face-off win and 7 for the Broncos. First quarter action. As we're approaching the 30-second mark, it is a 3-3 tie, Brophy and Notre Dame. Notre Dame losing, they'll lose Hackbarth, Comency's, and Patrick Galvin. And of all the guys that get significant playing time, those are the only 3 they're going to lose to graduation. Brophy trying to score here before the buzzer, and Lesher strikes again. The Broncos have taken the lead on a very impressive over-the-top shot by Lesher with 11 seconds left to go and a high-scoring first quarter. So our second lead change of the day, and this time the Brophy Broncos and their first lead of the contest. Down to 6 seconds left to go here. Face-off win for Notre Dame. They're going to have to heave this one. The shot at the buzzer, and Trexler has scored. What an impressive shot at the buzzer, and right now the officials, I think they're going to take this one away. They're going to take it away. It does not count, and so our score at the end of 1. It's 4-3 Brophy. This is the Division I State Championship on APN. A strong finish by the Brophy Broncos, scoring 4 of the last 5 goals in that first quarter, led by Alex Lesher's 2 goals. We had 5 other players that scored in this game. A face-off win here. Well, actually, now Notre Dame is going to take care of the possession as they trail 4-3 here. Notre Dame scoring led by Lynch, Stanton, and Story, each with 1. We mentioned Lesher with 2. Joe Van Ribbeck had 1. And Wanabo had the other. So it's 4-3, and they battle for that 50-50 ball over in the corner, and it's picked up by Bergamo. So Notre Dame in possession of the ball, trailing 4-3 and looking to equalize, and turned away by the freshman goalie of the Brophy Broncos, Liam Bailey. Pimentel up ahead, and it's intercepted. Here's Stanton quickly into the pipe to Lynch. 1-on-1, he couldn't get it to go. He was at the doorstep. Backing it up was the sophomore Max Bergamo, who had 37 of his 49 points coming on goals, 12 assists. Jake Smith, the sophomore, he had 21 points this year. Brophy with a 9-7 victory over at Brophy Sports Complex last Friday, to advance to these finals. And Notre Dame got here with it was a shootout for a while, and they pulled away. They had 5 unanswered goals as Cunnington strikes to tie it up here in quarter number 2. That's his first. And we are tied at 4. That is our third tie of the contest. Cunnington, his 29th point, his 17th goal of the year. And Notre Dame now battles and gets the ground ball on faceoff. We are even at 5. Story and the great ball rotation until the pass gets away from Lynch on the far side. 17-12 was the final score in the semifinal game, Notre Dame and Desert Vista. It was close for a while, but then Notre Dame had a 5-0 run late. Marcus Comences turning away Patrick McNeil, and now they're in the crease, and this should be Notre Dame possession, and it is. Good job by Marcus Comences, a high-scoring first quarter. These two teams met back in early March. Notre Dame, the white tops and the gold shorts, took an early 7-1 lead. They led 7-1 at halftime. Brophy came back, but ran out of time. And the final score in that game was Notre Dame 10, Brophy 9. Brophy dominated the second half of that game. Traxler with the challenge there applied by Carter McKeon. Looked like the ball was out of play, and it's still out there and picked up by Quinn Stanton, who is second in the state in ground balls this year for Notre Dame. Now Blake Story, he had a chance there. He's going to race in, swimming through the defense. He goes top shelf. Notre Dame regains the lead at 5-4 on Blake Story's second goal of the contest. That was a thing of beauty. He kind of lured the defense into a false sense of security, like he was going to swing that one back up top. And I'll tell you what, it was one guy. He drew a couple of slides, but he raced in there for the score and has given the Notre Dame Saints their second lead of the contest, and they lead it 5-4. Face-off win. Trevor Aldine, and the quick pass to Ducey, who scores it for the Brophy Broncos, and we're tied again. 8:49 left to go. A huge face-off win, and the assist by Trevor Aldine. This is our fourth tie of the contest, and so far, could you ask for anything more? Notre Dame, the number 1 seed, undefeated, 14-0. Another face-off win. Same play, but this time Ducey elects not to take the shot because of the defense of the sophomore Blake McKeon. So 2 face-off wins in a row. Now Brophy trying to regain the lead. They have led once at 5-4. Or check that, 4-3. Broken up. Notre Dame, far side. Good defense by Blake Story. But there's Ducey. And he's a ground ball machine in his own right. But for some reason, they're going to turn this one back over. Interference, I think, was the call against the Broncos. And now Story will try to clear it out of the defensive half of the Notre Dame Saints. Starting to get a little physical. McNeil will pick up Story. A couple of tall players out here. Now Will Lynch. And right there, the long stick defender, Carter McKeon. You got to have a pull on Lynch, no doubt about it. And we're going to get a timeout, Notre Dame. So after the timeout, welcome back to APN Sports. APNvideo.com is the official home of the Arizona Lacrosse League. Go to our website, look up the Arizona Lacrosse League page, and you can watch all the games. Right now, I think all we've got are the semifinals up there, but we'll post the rest of those games, and we'll hold them up there probably throughout the summer. Here's Bergamo going to work. Well, a good head fake there, but excellent defense by the senior Christopher Romine. Bergamo settles back in, looking for that money spot. He goes top shelf, hits some pipe, but the rebound belongs to Cunnington. Well, Cunnington has his second of the day, and Notre Dame has regained the lead with 7:06 left to go here in the first, and Notre Dame has scored 3 of the last 4 goals, all in this second quarter. Face off. Van Ribbeck, nope, Bergamo. Notre Dame with a win. Notre Dame has had 6 of the 13 face-off wins. Smith moving right, takes a shot, coming off a split dodge, and with 6:43 left to go, Notre Dame leading it 6-5. On APNvideo.com, I'm Jeff Lowry. So glad you could join us on a very, very warm day. Game time temperature soaring to 107 in some parts of the Valley of the Sun. Our Division II game, which was won in overtime by Mountain Ridge over Oro Valley, a team out of Tucson. 11-10 was the final score in that one. And Stanton loses it, and Joe Van Ribbeck with a big ground ball, looking for the clear. Will Lynch on the ride, but to no avail. Cunnington flanking Van Ribbeck. Joe Van Ribbeck, Will Cunnington, 2 of the best senior players in the state of Arizona. Jack Clark over to Lesher, who leads all Brophy Broncos in scoring with 2 goals so far. It's 6-5 Notre Dame. They're on defense. Ducey now out of X. Clark. And Clark has had a fine season for his team with 28 points, 20 goals, 8 assists. Lesher putting the moves on. And Hackbarth broke it away. And it was Zach Siegel who throws it away. And I think he had a little more time than he thought. He rushed it, and now Brophy will restart it. Nonetheless, a fabulous defensive play by Will Hackbarth. Second quarter action. We are inside of 6 minutes. Patrick McNeil, 29 points this year, but 16 points, goals, 13 assists. Great feed from Clark to Ducey. Ducey in the pipe, backed up nicely. Here's McNeil. McNeil, and he will pull the trigger and rip it through. Patrick McNeil, his 30th goal or point of the season. That comes with 4:39 left to go. And we are tied at 6. That's our 5th tie of the game. So McNeil and Brophy have scored 2 of the last 3. In a 6-6 tie here in quarter number 2. 4.5 left to go on the clock. First half action. Face-off 7-6 in favor of the Broncos, and we're now knotted at 7. Blake Story with the ground ball, gets it into the box. Eldine gets around Eldine and rips one, and it's saved by Liam Bailey. Beautiful shot, outstanding save by the Brophy goalie, and now Ryan Poteet takes it away. And Brophy, I think, called a timeout before the loose ball came about. 4:17 on the clock, and we're back at the Division I State Championship. Special thanks to Arcadia High School for hosting this event once again. Last year it was at Chaparral. The 2 previous seasons it was here. So 3 of the last 4 years here at beautiful Arcadia High School. Van Ribbick, great ground ball. Going past his defender, the save Coleman sees. Van Ribbick comes up with a big rebound. And another big ground ball. Ducey now will draw the attention of his defender, Austin Rosen. Clark over to Lesher. 6-6 tie. 3.5 left to go on the clock here in the first half. Cunnington on McNeil. Cunnington. Pass. Coleman sees with a save. Tremendous play. Clark coming around out of X. And walking the dog across the midway stripe is the sophomore defender, Siegel. Quickly get it to Rosen. Rosen straight down the pipe, looking for some help. Gets it over to Will Lynch, and the low shot is going to be corralled by Liam Bailey. And we're still tied at 6 apiece. Approaching the 3-minute mark here in the first half. Bailey. Now they're going to harass the freshman goalie. Good defense, and that forces a bad pass. Rosen steals it, and now brings it into the offensive half. Notre Dame trying to go up once again. Right idea. Luke Van Ribbick got part of the cradle on that ball and broke it away, but eventually Quinn Stanton, who has had 4 big ground balls, all of them have been vital in this game for Notre Dame. One of the things that Notre Dame kind of has to battle with here today, they had 3 players with strep throat this week. And so, obviously, and 3 starters that are big impact players on this Notre Dame Saints team. So you just wonder sometimes with the energy level. 2 minutes left to go. Jake Smith, he dodges. Shoots from goal line extended right. Backing it up was Traxler. No, they're going to give it. Wow, they're giving it to Brophy. So when it went out of play, it looked like McKeon was the closest to the line. And he's going to try to clear it. Carter McKeon, one of the many seniors. It'll be interesting to see how Brophy regroups next year. And they may be in a bit of a transitional year just because of the amount of seniors that they are losing. Here's one of them, Ducey. Back over to Jack Clark. Clark, a junior. Picked up there by Will Hackbarth. Hackbarth has had a pretty good game here for Doug Lipska, who is assisted by Mark Siegel, Matt Tyke, and Tony Parkinson. 6-6 tie as we're approaching the 1-minute mark. Ducey gets the long stick midfielder, and Ryan Poteet up top. Now Lesher, or rather Clark. Hackbarth. Looking for a screen there. Come around the edge, now back up to Lesher. And a 6-all tie here in this Arizona High School Division I championship game. And Brophy regains the lead at 7-6 on the second goal of the day by Wanabo. That comes with 42 seconds left to play. And Brophy has scored 3 of 4, and they lead 7-6. 5 lead changes, 5 ties in the contest. 30 seconds left to go. Big ground ball. Notre Dame looking to equalize. The senior Cunnington gets it into the offensive half. He'll swing it over to Traxler. Traxler out front to Rosen. Rosen patient on the offense. Now Will Lynch, and not afraid to take the shot. He wants to go in with this big left hand, and his shot was actually countered by Christopher Romine. It's a good job by Romine. Timeout, Brophy. With just seconds left to play here in this first half. Brophy with a 7-6 lead. They've led 4-3. They have led now 6-7. Notre Dame has held leads of 3-2, and that's the buzzer. And that's the end of the first half with the score. Brophy 7, Notre Dame 6. Back with the second half on APN in just a moment. Jeff Lowry back here in a 7-6 lead for the Brophy Broncos in search of their 6th state championship. This is the first time Notre Dame has been to the big dance. So we're back here at Arcadia High School. 8-7 advantage in face-off X in the first half for Notre Dame, but Brophy comes out and wins it. Eldine has done a great job. Last week in the semifinal game, Brophy against South Point, they did not win a single face-off. Max Manka, the sensational face-off player for Kevin Krieger's South Point Lancers, and congratulations to South Point. A team that did not even make the playoffs last year. They go to the semifinals having to make that 3-hour trek up here, about 2.5-hour trek up to Brophy Sports Complex. They were in that game the whole way. And they had a great 10-win season, Kevin Krieger and South Point. And, you know, congratulations to Dan Lannon. Desert Vista goes to the semifinals for the, 5th year in a row. And I know they were a little disappointed with their final wins and losses, but Dan Lannon's team going into that semifinal game against Notre Dame, all 5 of their first 5 losses were only by 1 point. So, I mean, quite literally was 6 points away from a perfect season. Or maybe 12 points away. I guess you'd have to double that up. So it's 7-6 Brophy. They come out in the red tops and the black shorts. Blake Story, the ball handler here, and not sure if that was a pass or a shot. Traxler was back there going up against Luke Van Ribbing. Traxler trying to pick up the ground ball. Great defense by Luke. Traxler, who spent his first year with the Brophy Broncos, last 2 with Notre Dame, and a great pass, and Bailey comes up with a shot. Cunningham didn't get enough mustard on that one. He really didn't. And that'll keep the score, Brophy 7, Notre Dame 6. The Saints trying to win their first ever Division I state championship. They did win back in 2011 a Division II title against Oro Valley, who lost earlier today in the D2 game to Mountain Ridge. Failure to advance is going to be the call. And now Notre Dame looking to equalize. Last year, the Saints were a number 6 seed. One of the great victories in their club history. They defeated Chaparral in overtime 11-10 to advance to their first semifinals, only to get beat by the defending champion Dan Lannon's Desert Vista Thunder. Loose ball. And once again, Quinn Stanton showing why he's one of the most valuable players on this team. He's going to start his dodge from way out. He goes bottom shelf. Not a bad idea. Will Lynch and James Traxler backing things up for Notre Dame, who still trails 7-6 here in quarter number 3. Will Lynch, who had a big season offensively. Great pass. Traxler coming out of X. Traxler with his first goal of the contest. Lynch his first assist. And we're tied at the 8:43 mark here in quarter number 3. 7-7 tie, our 6th tie of the game. And Notre Dame, Lynch to Traxler. Lynch has had 1 goal, 1 assist. Face-off win Brophy. They have a 9-8 advantage in face-off X. Jeff Lowry with you from Arcadia High School in the Arizona Lacrosse League is on the air on APN Sports in our coverage of the Division I State High School Championship game. It's Brophy Broncos and the Notre Dame Saints locked in a 7-7 tie at the 8-minute mark here in quarter number 3. Wanabo. Good, strong defense, Jake Smith. Now Ducey, the senior attackman, draws McKee on. And now Brophy will work it up top. Joe Van Ribbeck brings some size to the field here. Lesher, who has a couple of goals to lead the Brophy Broncos. He has it pried away. That's Ryan Poteet, the long stick midfielder, doing a great job for Notre Dame. But the possession goes back to the Brophy Broncos. Inside of 8 minutes left to go here in quarter number 3. And we're tied at 7. Here's the shot. It's high. Back over. Ducey. Good job backing up Jack Clark for the Brophy Broncos. And, well, Brophy will take it up top. Joe Van Ribbeck drawing the slide. And I'll tell you, Ryan Poteet is just making plays. But the loose ball belongs to the Brophy Broncos. Joe Van Ribbeck with a big left. The big rip. From the angle, Joe Van Ribbeck, an unassisted goal, his second of the day, and the Broncos regain the lead. 8-7 with 7:13 left to go here in the third. What a ball game we have seen. 6 ties, 6 lead changes. This is the third lead of the day for the Broncos. And Notre Dame needed a face-off win, and none other than Quinn Stanton comes up with a ground ball. 8-7 Brophy. Notre Dame. Stanton attacking the crease. Still has it. Now shows the patience. Now Traxler. Traxler and McKee on. Traxler goes around him. Bailey with a great save. It comes back out to Stanton. 8-7 lead for the team in red. The Brophy Broncos, 5-time state champions in the Arizona Lacrosse League. Will Lynch to equalize, and he left it high. Notre Dame will retain the possession. James Traxler led all Saints in scoring with 57. Getting in there close. You had Luke Van Ribbeck. You had Hunter Truman in there. Truman, a part of the great Brophy Bronco football team. Cunnington, who has scored twice, and now he's one-on-one with Luke Van Ribbeck. One of the poles. One of the defensive poles here for the Brophy Broncos. Traxler out of X. Truman, very strong player, like I said. Playing for the Brophy football team. Traxler trying to work that magic one out to Bergamo. And boy, Bailey with an outstanding save that time. 8-7 Broncos here in the third. Loose ball. Will Lynch is going to get the ground ball. Trying to corral it over in the corner. So a very, very important play here. Can Notre Dame take advantage as they trail 8-7? Halfway through quarter number 3. Lynch still in possession. McKeon will draw the defense there, and now Quinn Stanton, who scored the second goal of the game to give Notre Dame a 2-0 lead with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter, is the ball carrier for the Saints. Saints trying to win their first state championship, and falling down. Is there a flag on the play? The goal is going to count. It's a hold against Brophy. It doesn't matter. This game is tied on the second goal of the day by Quinn Stanton. So Notre Dame counters with 5:07 left to go here in quarter number 3. This is the 7th tie of the contest, and we're knotted at 8. We're even in face-off X until now. They battle for the 50-50 ball, and the Broncos got it. Joe Van Ribbeck. So they got a 10-9 advantage now in face-off X. Van Ribbeck. What a season this guy's had. I mean, if Joe Van Ribbeck was playing for any other team, except maybe like a Notre Dame, but I mean, if he was on a lot of the other teams, he probably would have been challenging for a scoring title. Brophy, I think they believe a little bit in the long possessions. They're really about as patient of an offense as any team in the league. Probably the most patient. But at times, this Notre Dame team, they'll slow things down. They were a very transition team, scoring out of transition on the earlier part of the year. But the last 7 or 8 games, it seemed like they've done a much better job when they've been in that settled offense situations. And they got the weapons. They probably got 7 or 8 guys on this team that can score. Good poke check there from the backside, Ryan Poteet. Ryan's having a great game. Number 8, Hackbarth, 16. McKeon's made plays on defense here today. We're in an 8-8 tie here. Coming up on that 3.5 mark. There, watch it there. Smith got the face and up into the grill of Joe Van Ribbeck, and they forced the turnover, and Notre Dame with a chance to take the lead. They have not led since Cunnington's score in the second quarter at the 7:06 mark when they took a 6-5 lead. And Story is going to be tripped from behind by Truman. This will be a tripping. This might be. This is going to possibly be. Now they've reversed it. A loose ball push. So that's just a technical foul. That was not a personal foul. So the officials conferred with one another, and apparently they felt like they made the right call. Story out to Lynch, and it's Bailey again. Boy, Bailey's been impressive. Luke Van Ribbeck. What a job Luke has done. I mean, the Van Ribbeck brothers for the Brophy, they have been absolutely legendary. Ground ball. Thought for a moment that Tommy Bullington was going to come up with that one. The sophomore now racing into the offensive half is Notre Dame. And Will Cunnington, one of the senior leaders, only 3 starting seniors on this team, slows it down and restarts it out on the wing with Stanton. Stanton gets the call by Cade Edwards on defense. He goes around Edwards, goes bottom shelf. He's got a hat trick. He leads all scores. He has scored the last 2 for Notre Dame, and as he did in the semifinals against Desert Vista, he is playing huge here tonight in this championship game. And it is our 7th lead change of the contest. Notre Dame now leads 9-8. Their first lead in 17 minutes of play. Brophy gets the face-off win. They got an 11-9 advantage. Here's Eldine. Started the dodge, and then a poor pass over there to Alex Lesher. And the Saints have a chance now to go up by 2. As we are approaching the 1-minute mark here, 1:20. Here in quarter number 3. And a low pass, and who wants a ground ball? It's Notre Dame. They'll dodge straight down the pipe, and Rosen just missed it. Traxler was backing up. Saints have led by as many as 2, at 2-0, back in the early stages of this contest. Brophy has never led by more than 1. 2 is the biggest lead of the game. Will Cunnington, a 4-year starter for Notre Dame, and will be going to Division III Roanoke College, who is currently ranked 15th in the nation. Wearing number 5. Blake Story. With an edgy trigger finger over there, but elects to pass it up. Bo Pick, the head coach of the Broncos, winningest coach in league history. Dan Lannon is second. And then I think there's some discussion. I think Dave Henning, who formerly with the Chandler Wolves and going into the Hall of Fame, is third. Story, nice split dodge that time and left it a little high. Couldn't get the elbows down. Now Bergamo over to Traxler. Traxler, the former Brophy Bronco. to set this play up for Cunnington. Cunnington out top, over to Will Lynch. Bergamo, couple of dominant lefties there. Smith, and he left it wide left, right of the goal. Back-to-back scores by Quinn Stanton. That is the end of the first half, have given the Notre Dame Saints a 9-8 lead. You're watching the Arizona Lacrosse League's Division I High School State Championship game. Again, Notre Dame leading Brophy 9-8. Welcome back to Arcadia High School. A near capacity crowd here, except for where the band was earlier tonight. We have had 7 ties, 7 lead changes. I'm Jeff Lowry with APM Video Sports. Face-off win for Notre Dame on a procedure. An 11-10 advantage in face-off X to this point in favor of the Brophy Broncos. Now Stanton going to work out on the wing. Tommy Moore picks him up defensively. It was Stanton who scored with 5 minutes and 7 seconds to tie the game at 8, and then 3 minutes later, the game's second consecutive score from Stanton gives Notre Dame a 9-8 lead. So Jake Smith, and we are in quarter number 4 here, and it is anybody's game. I'll tell you what, we have been treated to an instant classic if this fourth quarter stays true to the rest of the game. Stanton with a good spin move, bringing it back right, and that went off the shin guard of Liam Bailey. That's another save for him. He's in double figures tonight. The Broncos on defense, trailing 9-8. Stanton again, looking for an outlet, and throws this one away, and this is going to be a turnover. It'll be Brophy possession in the second minute of this fourth quarter. Last year, the Brophy Broncos were the #1 seed going into the playoffs. They took the top 6 teams last year as opposed to the top 8 this year. The top 2 teams last year got a bye into the semifinals, and Brophy got beat by the eventual champions and still champions for another 30 minutes, the Gilbert Tigers. Turnover time. Here's Siegel. Siegel with a clear. Zach Siegel getting hooked up there with Truman. Hunter Truman, a senior. Siegel only a sophomore, excuse me. Heading to Roanoke University, Division III, Cunnington, who has already scored twice here. The leading scorer in the game, Quinn Stanton with 3. Stanton had 4 points in that semifinal victory last Saturday over against the Desert Vista Thunder. They played that game at Bemis Field, and he's going for his 4th. Here's the rebound. Here's Cunnington. He's got the Hattie. And tying for their largest lead of the night is the Notre Dame Saints. Cunnington unassisted on the play, his 3rd goal of the contest. And it's 10-8 with 9:46 left to go, and the Saints faithful on their feet. 10-8 in favor of the Notre Dame Saints. Stanton almost came up with his 4th goal of the contest there. Poteet trying to get the ground ball, and we're going to get a stop in play and a timeout, Notre Dame. So with 9:36, Brophy can't afford to go down by 3. Well, Coach Doug over there, he's done a great job being patient. There is Bopick. And Zach Whitman talking over with his team. So a face-off win. We're even at face-off X. And Jake Smith brings it into the offensive half, and now Max Bergamo. Notre Dame in possession of the ball and a 2-point lead here. 9 minutes left to go in regulation time. You're watching the Arizona Lacrosse League High School Division I state championship game. The undefeated and number 1 seeded Notre Dame Saints, 14-0. Brophy, the 2 seed, 13-1. They've met one time. It was Brophy's 3rd game of the year. Notre Dame got a 7-1 lead early, led 7-1 at the half, won the game 10-9. Notre Dame came out on top. But if you look at common opponents, you have to give Notre Dame maybe a 4-point advantage here on the odds makers. But right now it's been a fairly even game. Notre Dame enjoying their largest lead. They've led by as many as 2 on 2 occasions, 2-0 in the first and 10-8 here. Story trying to make it a 3-goal lead, and Bailey turns him away. Well, no matter what happens, Liam Bailey, the freshman, has earned his paycheck here tonight. Ducey, can he get the ground ball? He lost his stick. And Ryan Poteet he just seems like he is wreaking havoc. Timeout, Brophy. Good call by Bo Pick and company. 8:01 left to play here. Okay, so we're back to live action, Division I, Arizona High School State Championship on apnvideo.com. My name is Jeff Lowry. So glad you could join us. Even though it is dropped a little bit, the temperature is still in the high 90s here. I got 98 degrees here. Fortunately, there's a decent wind. Patrick McNeil. And right now, inside of 8 minutes, desperate for a score. McNeil to Ducey, and Siegel comes up and marks him up in the pipe and disrupted the shot. Ducey was at point-blank range and couldn't get it to go on a tremendous defensive play by the sophomore Zach Siegel, who has scored 7 points and 5 goals this year. Shot, no good. So Oliver was looking for a Hattie. He's got 2 for Brophy. He wears number 1, now Lesher. The leading scorer in Division I play here in 2017. Ducey looking for an avenue. That road was closed, and they'll work it back to Lesher. Alex Lesher's had a great career at Brophy. He'll go down as one of the all-time Brophy greats, and there's been a lot of them. From Hunter Rogers to Fishman to the great goalie Bassett, Panzarella, and on down the line. This has been a great program for many years. They had an outstanding coach before Bo Pick, and Derek Dragowski, who led them to their first championship in 07 and came back and won it again in 08. Bo Pick took over in 09. So after the loose ball, Stanton will clear it for the Saints. And right now it is definitely all about possession. And a good double team defense there. Siegel, that was a nice pass by Hackbarth. They're going to lose it out of bounds. At least they're going to force Brophy to go the length of the field to bring it back into the offensive half. Let's see what kind of ride Notre Dame does. The key on Joe Van Ribbeck. He'll bring it right down the middle. He'll force it down the alley to the right of the goal. Brophy desperately needing a score. We're coming up on that halfway mark here in quarter number 4. This is a Division I championship. Notre Dame on defense leads it 10-8. McNeil, the senior leader. We say it so many times, it bears repeating. Out to Joe Van Ribbeck. He's got 2 goals, looking for a third. Goes in with the right hand, lower right corner. He's found the promised land. A Hattie for Joe Van Ribbeck, and that was exactly what the doctor ordered. So now with 5.5 left to go here in quarter number 4, it is 10-9. And anything can happen at this point. We are even at face-off X, not anymore. Will Cunnington with a big ground ball. Races into the offensive half. He'll probably slow it down, and he does. Get it back to Bergamo. His dominant hand is the left, and that's the side he wants to be on. Bergamo, Lynch, Jake Smith, Blake Story, shot taken, no good. And Traxler, that's the 6 offensive players. Traxler, Quinn Stanton, and Bergamo all had strep throat this week for the Notre Dame Saints. And all 3 of them are out there playing. Stanton with 3 goals. Traxler with 1. Smith again turned away, and Bailey's had a pretty good second half, wouldn't you say? The outstanding goalie, the freshman goalie at midfield. Story with the takeaway. Now Blake Story got to get it into the box, get it past the restraining line. A 1-point lead for the Notre Dame Saints. 4th quarter action. Do we have a fantastic finish in the making here tonight from Arcadia High School? Notre Dame leads it 10-9. They had trailed 8-7 in the 3rd quarter. They tied it with 5 minutes and then took the lead with 2:02. Back-to-back goals by Quinn Stanton to go up 9-8. They added a goal early in the 4th, Cunnington's 3rd. Smith, he's trying to find the promised land, and he leaves it wide right of the goal. Joe Van Ribbing, 2 minutes ago, scoring Brophy's 9th goal of the contest to draw the Broncos to within 1 at 10-9. That's where we stand with 3:45 on the clock. Blake Story scored the game's first point 2.5 minutes into the contest to give the Saints a 1-0 lead. Will Cunnington with 3 goals here. Cunnington starts to move, starts to dodge. Drew the slide and didn't like the numbers, and now Story. He drew 3 defenders that time. Now they'll work it over to Bergamo. He's isolated one-on-one. Starting to bring that slide over from Eldine. He gets around a defender, takes the shot, and he's got it. Max Bergamo. That is a monster goal for Notre Dame. And they go back up top by 2 for the 3rd time today with 3:10 left to play. Brophy needs a quick score and cannot afford to go down by 3, or this one's in the deep freeze. Face-off win, and they needed that one. So now the Broncos with Lesher in possession. He's getting the long stick midfielder Ryan Poteet. Back over to Lesher. Broncos trailing by 2 again. This is the 3rd time in this game they've trailed by 2. Here's the dodge. Ducey. Needed a cutter there. Nobody was home. And Oliver taking the shot with the big left hand.
2:30.
Nice job there backing up. It's Jack Clark. Now the Lesher. 2:25 on the clock. 4th quarter action. Notre Dame a little more than 2 minutes away from a championship, and Lesher, that was a great save by Marcus Comences. We'll put that in your game notes as we approach the 2-minute mark here in quarter number 4. Lesher again. Lesher takes a shot, tried to go upper right-hand corner. And again, Jack Clark, the janitor back there in X, making sure that he is closest to the line when these shots go out. Brophy's one of the best teams at backing up the shot. It's amazing how many teams we saw this year that do not do that. To McNeil, who scores from Jack Clark, and it's a 1-point game. McNeil's second on a Clark assist. That makes it 11-10. 1:44 left to go here. And the Broncos are right back in at 1:49 to be exact. How important is this face-off? And what a clutch move, working without the ball by McNeil. And that's where that senior know-how comes in play. Brophy battling. Cunnington. And it's picked up by Will Lynch. and a timeout, and that's a smart timeout by the Notre Dame Saints. So they will talk things over as they now lead 11-10, 1:38 left to go here in regulation time. And how big was that last face-off win? Will Lynch, a monster ground ball. It's all about possession. Now, once they get it into the box, Notre Dame has to keep it in the box. And I'll tell you what, Jake Smith just had that one pried loose. This is a 50-50 ball that Brophy's got to win. Crowd on their feet. Arcadia High School, Pimentel. Here comes Brophy in the offensive half. Blake Story applying the defense. On a pretty good poke check there. And timeout Brophy as they trail by one. Plenty of time to set up the offense. And there's not a soul sitting in this game. So 1:14 left to play. Brophy on the restart. They'll hold the phone. I think they want to adjust the clock, so they add 2 seconds to it. So $1:15 left to go here in regulation. Brophy in the red. They have led 4-3. They led 7-6 and 8-7. Stanton for Notre Dame tied the game with 5:07 left to play in the third. Broncos, good rotation. Shot no good by Lesher, and he's missed his last 4. Stanton scored at the 2:02 mark to make it 9-7, and Notre Dame has not been headed since.
48.
45 seconds left to go. This is McNeil, who got the big goal at the 1:49 mark here in the fourth to put Brophy back in the game. Now Lesher. Split dodge doesn't work. Van Ribbeck. He's got a hat trick. He goes through 3 defenders. And elects to pull it back out top.
20.
Now Lesher again. Lesher. The sophomore Siegel. And that shot no good. Alex Lesher. What a season for this young man. Underclassman. McNeil loses it, and a flag is down. The flag is down, and this is going to go against the defense. And this is going to put Brophy in a man-up situation. I'm sure it's a hold here. Which will be a 30-second infraction against Ryan Poteet. So now just 7 seconds left to go. Can Brophy equalize? They trail by 1 in this Division I state championship game. Here's the swim dodge. It's going to be saved by Comences, and it's all over. The 2017 Arizona Lacrosse League state champions belongs to the Notre Dame Saints. And it's pandemonium on the field as they win it by a final score of 11-10. Marcus Comences with the save with time expiring. Spencer Stanton, the all-time leading scorer in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. In on the celebration as the two teams meet at midfield, and what a championship game, one of the greats in Arizona Lacrosse League history. The two coaches, Doug Lepka for Notre Dame, you saw Bo Pick, and our final score here tonight, the Saints defeat the Brophy Broncos 11-10.
All right, down here on the field with the newly crowned state champions, Notre Dame Saints. Congratulations, the seniors here. Marcus, the save there at the end. How quick was your heart beating there at the end?
Pretty quick. I didn't know if he was going to shoot or not, and I just kind of like made that last reaction and saved it. So honestly, though, it's all team. Like everybody else pulled their part, so it wasn't one person. We all did it together.
Tell us how you're feeling right now.
Oh, just amazing. We've been working so hard for this moment. It's just we've all been putting together all those running practices and extra work. It's amazing. It really is. It feels great.
It's the best feeling in the world. Best way to go out.
Well, what'd you think of Brophy here tonight? I mean, they were tremendous.
No, there was some good competition. We just had to work. Coach said ground balls, work hard. That's how it was going to be won, and that's what we did.
All right. All right, we're going to talk to a couple of other guys here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good job. All right. Saints champions here in 2017. First time in school history at the D1 level.
Undefeated, baby.
And, Will, I'll tell you what, you were a big part of the success this year. How's this feel for you?
I had the best two attackmen in the state next to me. Max Bergel, James Traxler. Wouldn't want anyone else next to me. Best midfield, best LSM, best goalie, Quinn Stan stepping up, Haggard stepping up, Davey, everybody. Let's go, Saints!